Do aspects, tenses, and voice confuse your learning in English? Worry no more. We have your back. English has never been easy with your learning squad. Propelled by the core values of excellence, integrity, innovation, service, and compassion, the ETUlay High School English program aims to support distance learning and to promote the attainment of communicative and cultural competence through fostering a learner-centered, child-friendly, gender-sensitive, globally aware, and encouraging remediation sessions following the most essential learning competencies. Here is your learning squad. For English 7, you have Mentor Tutor Trace from SDO Pasig and Menti Tutor Arnel from SDO Pasig. For English 8, you have Mentor Tutor Rubeline from SDO Lapu-Lapu City and Menti Tutor Joveth from SDO Butuan City. For English 9, you have Mentor Tutor Chester from SDO Batangas Province and Menti Tutor Ellie from SDO Camarines Sur. And for English 10, we have Mentor Tutor Juday from SDO Lapu-Lapu City and Menti Tutor Remem from SDO Lapu-Lapu City. Truly, we are excited to begin another fun-filled school year with you. See you at ETUlay.
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETUlay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETUlay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETUlay will bridge the gaps where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our module, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another session of our ETUlay English 7 tutorial session. So this is your tutor Drace, and we have tutor Arnel here. Hi, tutor
Hi.
Arnel.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Tutor Drazel. Another Tuesday for us.
Yes. So it's another Tuesday, and while you are presenting our screen, let me just greet our viewers here. Okay, so I saw people here coming from uh, Diamantina National High School. That's from Cabatuan, Isabela. And then we also have students from Mangahan High School. That's from SDO Pasig. And we also have, we have it here from Cabatuan East District. And that's as far as Isabela. Okay, and
Wow.
of course, we also have some more students coming from different areas of the Philippines, and always, of course, very thankful that you're here with us this Tuesday morning or Tuesday afternoon. And because Tuesday is Choose English Day, again, I am Tutor Drace from SDO Pasig, and with me is.
Tutor Ernell as well from SDO Pasig.
Okay, and we will be your guide this Tuesday afternoon for English 7. And our topic is. Okay, so now we are in quarter 1, week 7, and that would be about using clauses appropriately and meaningfully. So let us start off with our reference for today's lesson. So we would like to thank Department of Education, Soc Surgeon Region for our module this afternoon. Thank you very much for allowing us to use your module. And this will be our objectives for today's lesson. So, like what we always mention, we will be dividing our module or our lesson for three categories. Our objective number one will be our mind objective, or what we know, or the knowledge that we will be learning this afternoon is to identify the kinds of clauses. Then we also have learning of the heart. That is to create statements using clauses promoting global peace, harmony, and equality. And of course, we also have skills. That would be to construct meaningful sentences using clauses. So, Tutor Arnell, what would be our next slide?
All right, so I guess that's going to be about our featured duty for week 6.
Yeah, so like what we always promise, we always would be choosing an assignment that you have submitted for us. And this is the assignment that we consider the the greatest among the many great assignments given to us. So he will be receiving, or he or she will be receiving, the amazing badge that is from ETUlay English 7, none other than Jansen Robert Rosalin from Mangahan High School. Congratulations,
Congratulations,
Jansen.
Jansen.
Yeah, so you will be receiving the amazing badge. Now let us continue with our trivia. Okay. So last October 24, we celebrated the United Nations Day. So if you still remember when you were still young, you would be dressing up, right, in different national costumes. And during the face to face classes, what we do is we would have a parade of
That's
national
right.
costumes, right? And this is one of the activities that are really being weighted by the students and by the teachers and the parents as well. So the theme this October 24 was building back together for peace and prosperity. Now, of course, our sentences would be about our celebration. So why do we have to celebrate United Nations Day? So because it marks the official establishment of the United Nations in 1945 and continuously serve its purpose of working towards global peace, harmony, and equality. Now, these three significant aspects, we have global peace, harmony, and equality, will be the theme of today's session. Now, of course, Sir Arnell will be handling the rest of our lesson for this afternoon, and I will be assisting him this afternoon. So it is Sir Arnell's day today. So let's take it away, Sir Arnell. Let's continue with our review.
All right, so thank you so much, Tutor Drazel. So now Tutor Drazel already showed us the theme of our lesson for today, and that's actually all about the United Nations Day. So you will notice that most of the sentences would focus on the ones that we discussed earlier. So for the review, these are the ones that we discussed last time. So last time we learned about phrase, and phrase, all right, as we learn it from Tutor Drazel and I last time, are group of words that work together to make meaning, but it is not a complete sentence. So let's not forget that a phrase is not a complete sentence. So it was also mentioned by Tutor Drazel last time that there are types of phrases, and these are the types of it. So if you may remember, there were noun phrases provided to you as an example, verb phrase, gerund phrase, prepositional phrase, infinitive phrase, and of course, participial phrase. So as part of our review for this afternoon, I provided you an activity, which is, I know that you will be very much familiar with it because you have encountered this one. Let's see if you can still remember the ones that we discussed last time. So for the direction of our activity or for the review this afternoon, students, you are going to recall our lessons about phrases. How are you going to do it? You are going to identify the type of phrase in each item. So you are going to type it in our chat box. So let's start with the first group of words. Okay? So the first group of words that we have is had eaten salad for dinner. So if you may remember, students, what type of phrase is this? So you may choose among the choices that we have on the screen. Is it noun phrase, verb phrase, gerund phrase, infinitive phrase, prepositional phrase, or participial phrase. So let's see if we already have some answers in our comment section. All right, you may start typing your answer. What do you think is the type of phrase in this group of
Okay.
words? So we have
Tutor
had.
Arnell,
Mhm,
there are already some people typing in their answers, and John Louis de Yawin is saying it's a verb phrase, and so with
mhm.
Pauline and Cyrus and Eds and Eunice and Lorraine and the rest of them, they are all choosing it's a verb phrase.
All right, so thank you to Rachel. Let's see if their answers are correct. Okay, excellent. The correct answer is verb phrase. Very good, students. So let's see the second group of words or the second phrase. Okay, so the second phrase that we have here is to drink 8 glasses of water. To drink 8 glasses of water. So we really need this. All right, especially that we talk a lot in our classes. So what do you think is the answer for number two? So let's see if there are students who are typing their answers now.
Yes, they already have an answer from Mariel Villarasa. She said it's an infinitive phrase.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see. Oh, a lot of students are saying it's infinitive. All right, let's see if their answers are correct. Good job. It's infinitive phrase. Very good. Let's see the third phrase. The third phrase is the healthy eating habits. The healthy eating habits. So, what type of phrase is this? So, let's see if you can still guess or if you can still give the correct answer for the third phrase.
Okay. Tutor Arnell, while we are still waiting for the answers because
Yes.
they're still typing, let me just greet
Mm-hmm.
the students from Novaliches High School, that's from SDO Quezon City and the SCC
Mm.
Division. And another one, I would like to personally greet Miss Janet Flood Patayon. She is actually our constant, always our viewer, and she's always giving a lot of comments about our session, and that is really for our improvement. Thank you very much, Miss
Thank you
Patayon.
so much.
She's now leaving. She's now from Massachusetts, but formerly Tutor Arnell, she was from Centennial too. That's also in Nagpayong. So
Wow.
because you're from Nagpayong High School, thank you very much, Miss Patayan, for all your constructive criticisms. We really
Thank you
value
so
them.
much.
Okay. So now we have some answers here, and the students are saying it's a noun phrase.
All right, so let's see. Okay, it's a noun phrase. Very good. All right, so I guess most of them got it correctly. And of course, let's have the fourth phrase. The fourth phrase is after eating a healthy dinner. After eating a healthy dinner.
Okay.
All right, I think Mrs. Patayan said talaga. Yes, I am from Nagpayong High School, ma'am.
Yes. And Mom Macy Villa is also watching us. She's saying, happy to see you, Mom Drace. Go tutors. Yes, Mom May. I may be sick now, but I'm always here for our viewers. I'm not really feeling well, but I'm doing my best to be always be of service to everybody. So
Thank
let's
you so
now
much, Tutor
have,
Trace.
yes, thank you also, Tutor Ernell, for being here. So according to Giselle, the answer is a gerund phrase. And then Danette is also saying it's a gerund phrase, but according to Cyrus, it's a prepositional phrase. And the same with Trisha, it's a prepositional phrase. So which is correct, Tutor Nell?
All right, so let's check the correct answer. All right, number four is a prepositional phrase.
Yeah, so
Okay,
Cyrus got it.
that's right. Congratulations, Cyrus. And of course, the last item for our review will be, all right, phrase number five. It is paired with pasta and bread. Paired with pasta and bread. So, what type of phrase is that?
Yes. So again, while we are waiting, let us greet some of the viewers here who are cheering us today. And there is one here from Mr. Rolf Cedric San Juan, she's saying, good afternoon, Pasig tutors. Okay, thank you very much, Sir Rolf, for always watching.
Thank you, sir. All right, so do we have
Thank
answers
you.
for number five?
Yes, sir. They're saying it's a participial phrase. Most of them, actually, all of them are saying it's participial phrase.
All right, let's check it out. Number five is definitely a participial phrase. Wow, congratulations, students. So, just like what Tutor Drazel is telling us, for those who got a perfect score for our review, you have to send us a heart react. So, let's make this
Yeah.
comment section red by sending it. By sending heart reacts for those who got perfect
Yes.
scores.
Yes. Let's celebrate Valentine's in October. So
That's
let's have a
right.
lot of hearts. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so yes, Tutor Drazel.
Okay, yes, we now have hearts here from Myrene, from Razville, from Pauline, from Chanel, from Janiel, also from Trisha, from John Michael, Krisha, Renz, Ermine, and a lot more from the other students, John Louis, Eifer, Allen, and many more. So it's a happy
Wow.
Valentine's Day for all of us.
Right, so that means to say, Tutor Drazel, the ones we discussed were never forgotten by our
Yes,
students.
that's very, very good, students.
Okay. Now we are entering to our discussion. So right after we discuss about the phrases, let's try our activating prior knowledge activity. So there's a question here, is it a phrase or not? So this is what you are going to do, students. You are going to type in yes in our chat box if or in our comment section if the group of words that I am showing you or I'll be showing you is a phrase, and if it's not, you're going to type no. So let's see what we have here. So the first group of words that we have is promoting peace and order. So is it a phrase? All right, we have two options. Is it yes or no? So
And they
let's wait
always
for their
have to
answer.
write the number. Don't forget.
That's right. Don't forget the number.
We now have an answer here from Princess. Princess Haley Manubay. And her answer is yes.
Okay, so a lot of students have typed yes, so I think I have to show the answer already. The
Yes,
correct
tutor
answer
Nell.
is yes, it's a phrase. Very good. All right, so how about this group of words? Number two, and they work to achieve peace and harmony. All right, so are these group of words or is number two a phrase? Yes or no?
So our first person or the first student who answered is number two is we have Chanel Nicole Oxina. Number two, her answer is no.
Okay, so do we still have other students who answered same as hers, Tutor Drazel?
Yes, and most of them are saying it's a no.
All right, so let's check it out. You're right. The correct answer is no. Very good. All right, you will know later. Why is it a no? Okay, let's have number three. Number three, the United Nations headquarters. So is it a phrase? Yes or no?
Okay. Let's wait for the answer. So Samantha Blassie, her answer is number three, no. And Gail Marcos is a yes. Okay,
Hmm.
so Crisolo is a yes. Maria Sharina Erlin Viñas is a yes. And Daphne Palisok is a no. So who got it?
All right, so let's check it out. Tutor Drazel, who got the correct answer. Number three is a yes, it's a phrase. Okay, the United Nations headquarters. Let's
Yes,
have
that's a
number four.
noun phrase. Don't forget that that is a noun phrase.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, for number four, policies promoting gender equality. Policies promoting gender equality. So is it yes or no? Is it a phrase?
Okay, let us check. Hannah Sulin de la Cruz, number four is yes. And Mark Platon also said it's a yes. Okay, let
Mm-hmm.
us check the answer for number four.
Number four is a yes. Okay, it's a phrase. Policies promoting gender equality. And of course, we have the fifth one. Although challenges are on the way. Although challenges are on the way, is it a phrase? Yes or no?
Okay, let us check if they have already answered. Number five. So number five, according to Chanel, is a yes. Emiel is a no. Gail said also no, and Sean River is a no. Myrene also says it's a no, but Ren said it's a yes.
Okay, so let's see if the answers they got are correct. So let's see what we have here. All right, so the answer is a no. Okay,
Yes,
so
it's
it's
a
not a
no.
phrase. All right, you
Yes,
might be having yes, Tutor Drazel.
yes. Continue, Tutor and Mel.
All right, so you might be wondering, okay, why is it the group of words for numbers one, two, on three, and four are phrases? Sorry, numbers one, three, and four are phrases. You might be wondering why number two and number five are not. Okay, so that's what we are going to discuss today. Number two and number five group of words are not phrases because that's what we call clauses. All right. So, well, you might have heard this word last time, and of course, for us to remember everything that we discussed last time we discussed about phrases and also we discussed about sentences. And now, for us to have a clear understanding about all of these three, we're going to discuss about clauses. So, let's define first what phrases are. So, a phrase, just like what was discussed last time, is a group of words. It's not a complete sentence because it may only have one part. Okay, remember that, students? Phrases are not complete sentences because it's only a fragment or a part of it. It could be either a subject or a verb. All right. So, what's the difference of a phrase to a sentence? Of course, a sentence is complete. It always expresses a complete thought. Why is it complete? Because there is a subject and there is a verb combined together expressing a complete thought. Now, you might be asking me, Tutor Arnell, Tutor Drazel, what are clauses? So clauses are group of words. Yes, they are a group of words. They have a subject and a verb, but does not always express a complete thought. So we have typed does not always because you will know later the types of clauses, which clauses are expressing a complete thought and which clauses are not expressing a complete thought. So let's start now. So clause, it contains both a subject and a predicate. And remember, students, clauses have two types. Okay, the first type of clause is independent clause, and the next type of it is dependent clause. All right, so let's slow down a bit. All right, remember those, students? We have two types of clauses. We have independent and dependent clause. So what's the difference between the two? So, students, independent clause is a group of words that contains both a subject and a predicate, and it expresses a complete thought and can stand alone. Meaning to say, the thought of it is complete and it can stand as a sentence. On the other hand, if we say dependent clause, a dependent clause cannot stand alone because it does not express a complete thought and it's also known as a subordinate clause. So you see the difference, class, ha? Independent clause, they can stand alone. Dependent clause cannot stand alone and it's also known as subordinate clause. So why are dependent clauses called subordinate clause? You will know it too later. So let's talk about first the independent clause. In addition to what mentioned earlier, all right, students, independent clause is simply a simple sentence. All right, so don't forget that. We call it a simple sentence because an independent clause has a subject and has a verb in it and it has a complete thought. So the following examples of independent clauses are the following. The first one is the UN headquarters is in New York City. It's independent. It's complete. There's a subject and there is a predicate. Next is the UN assists people displaced by violence, conflict, and persecution. So this is another example of an independent clause. And another example of it is a majority of Americans believe in the importance of UN. So all of these three examples are independent clause, or we simply call a simple sentence. Don't forget that. So there is a question here. So Tutor Arnel, Tutor Drazel, what if we have two independent clauses? Can we combine them? All right. Of course, the answer is yes. All right. So two independent clauses can be joined into one sentence. It's just like a Lego, no? You combine two things together and then you form another one. So there's a procedure on how we are doing it. There are two types of words that can be used to connect two main or independent clauses. So there are two types of words that we use to combine these two sentences. So for example, coordinating conjunctions and independent marker words. Okay, so coordinating conjunctions and independent marker words are the words that we use to combine two independent clauses. So let's talk about the coordinating conjunctions. So what are coordinating conjunctions, class? Coordinating conjunctions coordinate or join two or more sentences, main clauses, words, or other parts of speech. But in this case, in our lesson, we are using coordinating conjunctions to combine two simple sentences or two independent clauses. So in English, there are 7 coordinating conjunctions, and for sure, you will never ever forget the 7 coordinating conjunctions because it has its acronym and we call it fan boys. Ayan, fan boys. All right, so coordinating conjunctions, we have, of course, F stands for, A stands for and, N stands for nor, B stands for but, O stands for or, Y stands for yet, and S stands for so. Okay, when do we use for, students? So yung for we use to explain reason or purpose. It's just like because. But class, because is not a coordinating conjunction. It's a different kind of conjunction, which we will discuss later. So here is an example of a sentence that uses for as a coordinating conjunction. I go to the park every Sunday for I long to see his face. Ah, so sweet. All right. So if you will notice, class, the first group of words that we have, I go to park every Sunday, can simply stand if you cut it. All right. That simply means an independent clause because even though you remove it, that's still or that can still stand alone. And another sentence or another group of words that can stand alone is I long to see his face. So for you to combine these two, we used a coordinating conjunction to form one longer sentence. You see the example? All right. So let's see another one using and. So students, when do we use and? We are using and if we are going to add another idea to another. So for example, I like to read. All right. So in the sentence, I like to read and I write faithfully in my journal every night. So the first idea or the first clause is I like to read. And the other clause is I write faithfully in my journal every night. So for you to combine these two independent clauses or simple sentences, we are using and to join them together or to form another or a longer sentence. So how about nor? Okay, so nor is used to present an alternative negative idea to already stated negative idea. We have an example here. I neither love nor hate to watch TV. So you don't love it nor hate it. All right, but it shows contrast. So it's like two sentences contrasting. Television is wonderful, but it interferes with my writing. So another is or. So we do present an alternative or a choice. So an example of it is, would you rather read a book or watch a good TV show? And for yet, it introduces a contrasting idea that follows the preceding idea logically. It's quite similar to but, and the example of it is I always take a book to the beach, yet I never seem to turn a single page. And of course, for so, it indicates effect, result, or consequence. So example of a sentence is, I like to read, so my grammar is always accurate. So don't forget the coordinating conjunctions, fanboys, for, and, nor, but, or, yet so. Okay, so we are using these coordinating conjunctions to combine two independent clauses. So how about the independent marker word, Tutor Arnel? So independent marker word is a connecting word too, but it is used at the beginning of an independent clause naman. So let's see some of the independent markers that we have. All right, we have also, consequently, furthermore, however, moreover, nevertheless, and therefore. So I would like you to look at the following. All right, so the common independent markers that we have earlier. Let's see how it is used. So these words can always begin a sentence or a clause that can stand alone. So remember, for independent markers, we are using it before another independent clause, which is shown in this example. So I have an example here of a sentence. The UN has goals to achieve. However, challenges slows down its fulfillment. Okay, so it says here, when the second independent clause, all right, look at that, students, the one that with underlined is the second independent clause, all right, in a sentence has an independent marker word. So what is the independent marker word in this sentence? That's the word however. So if you wish to connect two independent clauses using an independent word marker, remember this three, you have to use a semicolon, independent marker. Then right after the independent word marker, you have to put a comma. And of course, combined with that is another independent clause that is stated in the first part of the sentence. So there you go. You have a longer sentence using the independent word markers.
Okay, Tutor Arnel, let me
Okay.
just butt in. I think this is a typographical error. So let me just say an apology. So it should be
Mhm.
challenges slow down its
Oh,
fulfillment.
yes. All right.
So
So
it's a
challenges.
typographical error. We're sorry for that.
Yes. We're sorry. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Tutor. I did not see that actually. Okay. So let's have the next one. So we have, all right. So earlier class, we discussed about the independent clause. This time, we're going to talk about the dependent clause, or what we call the subordinate clause. All right. So a subordinate clause is a clause that cannot stand alone because it does not express a complete thought. So it needs to be attached to an independent clause to make its meaning complete. All right. So that's the difference of a dependent clause to an independent clause. So a dependent clause cannot stand alone. All right. It's not complete. So how do we connect dependent and independent clauses for the dependent clause to be complete? When we have an independent clause and a dependent clause or subordinate clause, we form a complex sentence. So it's a different type of sentence, no? So you will know a dependent clause if a complex sentence, in a complex sentence, because it is introduced by a subordinating conjunction. That's why it's called subordinating clause as well, because dependent clauses are introduced by subordinating conjunctions, which you will see the examples later. All right. So the entire dependent and independent clause can come first in a complex sense. I mean, either a dependent or an independent clause can come first in a complex sentence. So we can have independent clause first, or we can have dependent clause at the last, or uh, either. All right. Any of the two can come first. So here are the examples of the subordinating conjunctions that we are using in English. So I guess I don't have to read it all because there's a lot. So kindly look at it on your screen. These are the subordinating conjunctions that we are using. All right. So here is an example of a sentence. So let's see. I hope that there will be no more typographical errors here. So one of the UN's goals is to peacefully resolve global conflicts so that everyone will live peacefully and harmoniously. All right, so let's look at this one. So this group of words that has an underline is an example of an independent clause. All right. So earlier class, I told you that a dependent clause will never be complete without an independent clause. So obviously, the words that goes after the independent clause is what we call the subordinating clause already, or the dependent clause. And you will know, class, if it's a dependent clause because it's always introduced by a subordinating conjunction. So for this sentence, the subordinating conjunction is the word so that. Okay? So look at the construction of the sentence, class. If you cut off the independent clause from the entire sentence, it can stand alone. You can still understand it. However, if you will remove so that everyone will live peacefully and harmoniously, it cannot stand alone. So it needs another group of words to complete the thought of it. Okay? All right, so let's see if you can remember the ones that I discussed earlier. So, direction, type in IC if the statement is independent clause, and DC if it's dependent clause. So, you only have two choices, type in IC or DC. So, get ready with your keyboards now. So, let's have number one. So, the clause is because it is man's desire to live in peace and prosperity. So, students, is it IC or DC?
Okay, so let us check. We now have an answer here from Pauline, and it's an IC. According to Dylan, it's a DC. And Tyrone is an IC also. And Nino is a DC. And Brent is an IC, which is correct, Tutor Arnell.
All right, so we have mixed answers here. Well, number one is a DC or a dependent clause. All right. Why is
Yes.
it a dependent clause, class? Because it needs an independent clause to make it complete. All right. So let's have number two. People fight for equality worldwide. So is it IC or DC?
Okay. So let us wait for their answers. They're typing in now. So let us wait if it's an IC or a DC. Samantha Blasi, number two, IC. Eds Barreto, number two is IC also. And the same with Janiel Von Morales. And Mark Platon also, and Cyrus. Okay, Tutor Arnell, what's the correct answer for number two?
All right, for number two, let's check it out. The correct answer for number two is IC. It's an independent clause. All right. Why is it an independent clause, class? Because this is an example of a complete
Complete
sentence, or yeah, it expresses a complete thought. All right. So let's see the third one. Whenever global challenges are encountered. Whenever global challenges are encountered. So is it IC or DC?
Okay, let us wait. So, good afternoon also, Karen Dave Palomar from Seven Walnut, and her teacher is Ma'am Celerina T. Ferrer. Okay,
Mm.
Krisha is number three is DC's. Same with Clara and Althea and Angela and Eunice. It's a DC.
All right, so let's check it out. Yes, the correct answer is DC. All right, why is it a DC? Because look at that. Whenever is an example of a subordinating conjunction, so making it a subordinating clause. All right, so let's have number four. Education builds the strong foundation of the nation. So is it IC or DC?
So let us wait for their answers. Um, Ma'am Risa de Guzman of Mangahan High School, you're watching. Happy watching, ma'am.
Hi, Ma'am
And
Riza.
yes, Daphne is I sorry, I forgot the name. Sorry. Elsie Mercado is an IC. Lawrence Hermie Pastor Zamora, it's a DC. And um Kian Kian Binluan, it's a DC. Okay, which is correct, Tutor Arnell?
All right, so let's see. Okay, the correct answer is IC. It's an independent clause. So class number four, simply expresses a complete thought. Okay. And of course, we have the last one for our testing one's knowledge. After all world leaders sign the agreement. After all world leaders sign the agreement. So is it IC or DC?
Okay. Okay, let us check their answers. And number five, according to Sir Rolf, is DC. Samantha Blasi, it's an IC. And for Gail, it's a DC. Venice also DC. Samantha Avi DC. And Ella with DC also.
All right. So let's see if their answers are correct. Okay, good job, students. The correct answer for number five is DC. All right, because after is an example of a subordinating conjunction. And
Conjunction.
as we discussed it, yeah, all of the subordinating clauses are introduced with that. Okay, so, well, let's see how many of you got the perfect score. All right, this time, can you send us a happy react if you were able to get a perfect five? Let's see.
Okay. So while we are waiting for their happy reacts, Sir Rolf has a shout out here. Shout out to all my students from 10 Athena, Kronos, Uranus, Gaia, and Poseidon. Okay, shout out to all the students of those sections. And also, I would like to greet, of course, all my students from Aeolus, Adonis, Aphrodite, Kratos, Apollo, and what else? What did I miss? Okay, that's it.
Wow.
Because they're always watching, so I really, really need to have a shout out for all of them for supporting ETUlay always.
Yeah, I wonder if my students too from Nagpayong High School are watching. So if there are students from Nagpayong High School, hello there.
At
Thank you
least
for
Tutor
watching.
Arnel, Miss Patayon is always watching, and she is
Oh,
from Nagpayong also.
thank you, Mrs. Patayon. All right,
We
so
now
we got
have a lot of hearts here.
all right, so a lot of happy reacts, and that's great.
Oh,
A
happy
lot of
reacts.
students,
I'm sorry.
right? A lot of students got a perfect score. So now for evaluating one's knowledge. All right, this time, students, you are going to match column A and column B to construct a complete sentence. So for you not to take time typing your answers, I just provided you the group of words or the clauses. All right, so they are grouped in column A and column B, and you are going to choose the letter. All right, from column B which fits the ones in column A. So, for example, for number one, let's start with number one, students. There will be no lack of food. So please choose from column B which clause fits it to complete the sentence or to make a complete sentence, I mean. So you just have to type in the letter. So for number one, what do you think is the clause? Mhm. There will be no lack of food. All right. I think I'm seeing a lot of students sending their answers, and most of them are sending letter E. Letter E is if people will learn to plant fruit trees and vegetables. All right. Let's see if that's the correct answer. All right. Very good. The correct answer for number one is letter E. Okay. Number two, people live in peace. What do you think is the clause that fits for the clause in column A, number two? People live in peace.
Okay, let us check. They now have an answer here, and almost all of them are saying it's an A.
All right, so let's see. Okay, that's right. So when they learn to love and respect one another. So I guess that's definitely a key for a peaceful environment, respect and love for one another. Now, the third is some seek for equality. So which do you think from letter B fits the clause from number three? All right, so some seek for equality.
We now have an answer here. The first one to answer is Dylan Roque with the letter B.
All right, letter B. How about the others? Okay, we're flooded with B's now. Let's see if
Yes.
the letter B is the correct answer. Right. So some seek for equality because they experience discrimination and injustice.
Injustice.
All right, number four, we must unite and cooperate. So can you choose from column B the answer for
Yes.
number four?
According to Cherubin Gabriel Villamor, it's a letter C. Angela Pauline Bess, also letter C. And so with Janiel, with Crisolo, and Trisha, it's a letter C.
All right, let's check it out. Is it letter C? All right. So the correct answer is letter C. So definitely when we have a goal, we have to unite and we have to cooperate. So isn't it Tutor Drazel even in our face-to-face classes? Oh,
Yes.
sorry. So we need to cooperate and unite to finish our tasks quickly. And
Yes.
of course, number five, who do you think will get the correct answer here?
Of course, they would all get the correct answer, and all of them are saying it's a D.
All right. So it's right that we have to extend our hand to help whenever someone is in need. Okay, so I'm glad that most of our students got the answers correctly. Okay. So I
Let us check
guess
first how
mhm,
many got the perfect score. If you got a perfect score, please react with a thumbs up. Okay, if
right.
you got a
Okay, so
perfect score,
let's
that's for
flood our chat
evaluating.
box.
Yes, that's evaluating one's knowledge. So please
Mm.
react with a thumbs up. So we now have a thumbs up here from Princess, from Krisha, from John Kurt, from Rhea, from Marth, from Manilyn, from Nino, from Stephanie, from John Kevin, Sean River, Angela, Samantha, Via, Hannah, Cyrus, Stephanie, Katrina,
Wow.
Pauline, RC, and a lot more with a lot of thumbs
Yay.
up. Thank you very much for all your perfect scores. And
All
congratulations, of course.
right. So it's really making us so glad whenever students get perfect in their evaluation.
Yes.
All right. So what do we have here now, students, for generalizing learning? So in connection to the United Nations Day celebration last October 24, kindly answer this question. So it might take you some time to do it. All right, so here's the question. How will we achieve global peace, harmony, and equality? So it's just like a question for Miss Universe, right, Tutor Drazel?
Yes. Okay, so of course you have to say thank you very much for that wonderful question.
All right,
Okay, let
so
us wait
students,
for their answers. So your answers must also be Miss Universe answers. Let's wait
right.
for that.
So
Okay, so
remember,
while
students, that the answers must have the clauses. It could be independent, a combination, all right? The clauses that we learned today. Yes, Tutor Drazel, I'm sorry about that.
yes, it's okay. While we are waiting for their answers, of course, this might take quite some time. Let's just say thank you for all the learners who are always here with us. And next
Yes.
week, of course, we will be missing them for one Tuesday. But don't
Oh,
you worry because on the first Tuesday, no, that's the second Tuesday of November, will be our last session for the first quarter, and we are going to prepare something very, very special for all of you guys. Okay,
wow.
so
I'm
wait
quite
for that.
excited for that.
So, tutor, now we now have an answer here from Hannah. Once we learn how to accept our differences, it would be easy for us to attain peace, harmony, and equality for all. Okay, that's according
Wow.
to Hannah de la Cruz.
All right. Miss Universe answer. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Hannah.
Okay, we still have some more answers here, or maybe they are really doing their best for their Miss Universe answers. That's why it's taking them quite some time. Now from De Guzman, Sofia Bernice, if we learn to love ourselves, we learn to love others. And she is actually
Aw.
from, remember Chudernel, she's from my Bunga Elementary School Annex.
Oh,
So that means
hi.
she's from grade 6 down. Okay, so this is
Wow.
an advanced subject for her, and she got it
Amazing.
correctly. Congratulations, Sophia.
Congratulations. And we have a lot of answers now. Wow.
Yes. according to Gail, we can have peace and harmony and equality by respecting and loving each other. Okay.
All right.
And we also have some here from Tyrone. Write a blog about. Oh, wait, I lost his answer. I write a blog about promoting peace, write articles for newspapers and newsletters, post on social media promoting peace, attend a peace rally, or invite a peace speaker to your event, workplace, and or community. Okay, that's very
Mhm.
concrete, diba? Those are all concrete plans. And we have another one, a very simple answer from Josa Espiritu. We need to work together and unite. That is really, really true.
All right, Tutor Dresa, let's just feature Janelle Von Morales. She even said, "Thank you for such a beautiful question." All right, in my opinion, we can achieve world peace, harmony, and equality through coexistence. We can achieve peace, all right, harmony, and equality if people respect and accept diversity. Thank you,
Yes.
Janelle.
That's genial. Sorry. That's genial, Von.
Ah,
He's my
Janiel.
student.
Oh,
Yes.
hello, Janiel.
Okay, so again, thank you for such a beautiful question. And let's have this one last answer from Angela Pauline Bess. We will achieve we will achieve global peace, harmony, and equality by accepting, respecting, and helping each other. Very well said, Angela.
Wow, that's great. So we have a lot of answers, but we will be running out of time if we will read all of
Yes.
them.
And what matters, Tutor Ernell, is they were able to really use
That
clauses in their answers.
that's right. I am glad to see them typing all of their answers correctly. All right, now we're down for summarizing learning. So let's summarize or let's sum up all of the things that we learned today. So students never forget that a clause has a subject and a verb. All right, but does not always express a complete thought because we have two types of clauses. The first type is independent clause, and the other one is dependent clause. So never forget, students, that independent clause can stand alone because it's simply called as a simple sentence, and a dependent clause is a group of words or a clause that cannot stand alone, and it's always introduced by a subordinating conjunction. That's why it's called a subordinate clause. So never forget those things, students. And all right, so Tutor Drazel, we're down with how do we call this again, Tutor Drazel? I almost forgot about this
Yes, the
part.
objective. So this is actually to check whether we have attained all our objectives. So at the start of the session, we already enumerated all our objectives. That would be identifying the kinds of clauses. We did that. And then create
Yes.
statements using clauses. You also did
Mm.
that. And we also constructed meaningful sentences into using clauses. So very good. Good job, everyone.
Hooray! All right, and now for our assignment, I hope you will still be excited with this one. So, the United Nations Day celebration for year 2021 has its theme, Building Back Together for Peace and Prosperity. So, this is our assignment for you, students. Please construct a short essay containing the theme. Make sure the sentences in your essay has the clauses we learned in our lesson. So I provided here, or we provided here, a rubric so that you will be guided as to how you are going to create an essay. So, well, there should be an idea, explanation, coherency, and grammar. So hopefully you will consider our essay rubric so that you will have a chance to be given our amazing badge.
Yes.
All right. And of course, once you have made your assignments, you are going to submit it, of course, to our to Tutor Drazel page. All right, that's here on the screen, and you can also submit your answers to me on my personal Facebook account. So please take note of that, students. And of course, the exit assessment. So what is this for again, Tutor Drazel?
Okay, so the exit assessment is something that you will take. Okay, so it's voluntary if you really want to improve your knowledge and to check whether you really learned something from our session today. All you need to do is just scan the QR code or copy the link below and then answer the Google form for the exit assessment. So you will see whether you really learned something. So all you need to do is just scan it or copy the link. Of course, the scanning is easier than copying the link, right? So please,
Right.
please do that also. And then for evaluation or feedback, because we value your words, so scan the QR code or copy the link below, evaluate the session honestly, and please do read carefully before you do the evaluation. We really value your criticisms. Those are all constructive criticisms, and we improve from your evaluation. So, those
Mm-hmm.
people who are always regularly giving us an evaluation and regularly answering the exit assessment, thank you very, very much.
Thank you. All right, so we're now at the end of our session, Tutor Drazel. All
Yes,
right, so of course, mhm.
and now we say goodbye and we bid goodbye to everybody. And of course, we thank everyone who are with us this afternoon. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for learning with us. And we will still be with you for the rest of the school year. Again, this is Tutor Drace from SDO Pasig.
And of course, Tutor Arnold from SDO Pasig as well.
And we will always be your guide for English 7. That is always a Tuesday from 1:40 to 2:20 p.m. And with us are the whole team of the English Junior High School. And up next, we have Tutor Rubeline and Tutor Jovet for English 8. Again, thank you very much, everyone. God bless and have a nice week ahead. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag #ETUlayLevelUp. Huwag aalis ha dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!